So get you one or two in. Because you never know where you just came from. Hey, Miss Pam. Where you got to get to when you leave here. So I often encourage us to get us one or two in. We're going to eat first, and then we're going to get into some conversations that I'm so excited about. It's the last portion of our year, the last quarter of 2025, and we are entering into 2026, but this is officially our last meeting in this context of the year. We have Heroes of the Heart coming up in December. But this is our last meeting of the year, which is unbelievable to me. Me and Melissa was talking about holiday plans. I always am usually the first. If you know anything about me, I don't really get into all the holiday stuff, but I'm always the first to say happy holidays because they are here. By the time you get to October 1, the holidays are here. So happy holidays. The question we're going to talk about today is, what are your holiday plans? That's our icebreaker question. National Night Out was last night. I know Wade was out late. Where Wade at? I know you was out late, Wade. I know you was. I already know you was. How many parties did you go to, Wade?
3.
I already know. I already know. I already know. Hey, Sugar.
I actually had a great occurrence last night at our National Night Out block party. So I have one in my neighborhood at my house every year. And somehow we got randomly picked, and the bus of dignitaries came by. And we had the mayor and the police chief and about 20 other city officials and first responders that came by.
Was you legit at the house though? Y'all didn't have too much going on, did you?
We were good. We had about 30 neighbors. So 13 of the 20 houses had somebody represented in our neighborhood. So we were very happy.
Thank you.
We had some people who had never come before. They came down.
Uh-oh, be careful.
It was exciting. You know, I personally believe, because I grew up in a small town in West Texas where everybody knew everybody. And I just believe that knowing the people that you live around is important.
Yeah, big time.
It's a support structure that we've lost. And you know, I think back to when I had a personally tough time, and my kids were 4, 3, and 6 months old, and my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was aggressive, and we did not have a very good prognosis, and just trying to keep the family down while she was going through surgery and chemo and radiation. You know, the last of my priorities was my front yard.
Right.
And at the time, I hadn't done the relationship work that I needed to do to meet my neighbors. And so, of course, I got the neighborhood association letter and all that other stuff. And I just thought to myself, you know, if anybody knew what we were going through, they would be here to help support me in a variety of different ways, not just take care of my yard. And I was like, you know, it's just important because I don't want to be the neighbor to the person that's going through what I'm going through and be calling the neighborhood association and not helping out and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it just was very impactful for me. So I tried, I'm a very introverted person, probably doesn't sound like it. I don't really like to get out much. Going around the first time to my neighbors was extremely intimidating. But it's been so personally rewarding, and it's just, now that we've been doing it about 7, 8 years, it just is a natural outflow, and everybody gets excited about it, and everybody's making new relationships and new friendships. So if you haven't had a chance to do it, I would highly encourage, just go knock on your neighbor's door and say hi. It makes a difference.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Mr. D. And that's a perfect segue and a lead in to our time together today. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. We are midweek. If you just coming in, you know, I already said go on and get you one, Miss Debbie, go on and get you one or two in, you know, because in this line of profession, what we do in each of our lives, whether you do something or you do absolutely nothing, the fact that life today, as the kids say, is lifing, you know, I think it's just important to be able to stop and breathe. Thanks, Ty. I think it's so important. And relationships, I've been knowing him. Wave again, Ty. I've been knowing him, y'all, since he was in 10th grade. And, you know, what a blessing. Him and his wife just had their third baby. And so I've been on TT duty, you know, because relationships are so important. You know, her mom is in chemo. And so, you know, if mom is in chemo Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, then who can help? You know, now is it convenient? When you're doing real relationships, most of the time it isn't. Most of the time it isn't. You know, but what do we do if we gonna do them? Other than do them, right, Mima? Well, I'm sorry. You know, that's what I call her, Mima. So great lead in, though, for the Circle of Caring today. This is our last meeting of this year. And I thought today we're going to do our survey, which is usual, but I wanted it to be a launch into what's next for the Circle of Caring. You know, we've been at these tables for about 4 years now, and it has been a it's been a privilege to sit in this seat and to be here. We lost our funding probably about a year and a half or so ago, I believe it was, when we lost our funding for Circle of Caring. So it's been something that Community Renewal has held on, you know, by the grace, you know, it's that thing, my best friend's grace and mercy, you know, that follows me every day gratefully. But Community Renewal has held this down for the last year, just out of their own funding. Ms. Diane is a treat to the organization. She's the grant writer, and you know, it takes a lot to do what the Ministry of Community Renewal does. So one of the things I shared with Mr. David was I didn't know what it looked like for next year, you know, as far as funding. You know, I agreed to, you know, my salary pretty much has kind of been gone, you know, but I knew and I understood the importance of what this mission meant. And when you do what you want to do and you enjoy doing, and the one is happening, because I want to build healthy communities, you know, and so sometimes that isn't always convenient either, you know. So I did ask Mr. David, I said, well, what's the vision for Circle of Caring next year? And the answer was that we really didn't know. But after I prayed about it, and I said, God, I want to continue this mission. You know, I understand that it has been a journey to do. I'm so grateful for Mr. David and the free reins to be able to build it. I was sharing with my cousin earlier as I was down low what today kind of looked like. I said, girl, this how Circle of Caring been built, was nothing but on prayer. You know, like just seeking the Lord on what's next for it, you know. We've had over 500 people come through these rooms. You know, we've had people to where it's 50 strong, and we've added to 5 because the numbers never mattered to me. It was always about the people, and it was always about the mission. So today, you know, as we prepare for Lord willing, say that again, Lord willing, 2026, you know, because you just never know. I had a dear friend I was sharing with Rory, a dear friend of mine who I met right here in the Circle of Caring. She is one of my best friends to this day. Her mom just dropped dead at work 2 weeks ago. I mean, she's a nurse. And she's in a nursing home. And mother went in to check on the patient. They realized she was in the room too long. And she hunched over on the patient at the foot of the bed. So in this season of my life, and my dear sister here, she know I'm gonna be real at all times. I ain't even got on no lashes today. I said this gonna be as real can get. Okay. Okay, this gonna be as real can get. You know, what are we playing for and with who? Because life is that short. So when you're gonna sit around these type of tables, you know, I always wanna hope to eat good, you know, all of that, but we wanna make sure that we're making an impact. And we're just not sitting at these tables just to be sitting and cute while we sit, okay? So that's, I guess, my real soapbox today. I'm on, you know, on a soapbox for sure, because the importance of what we do, the numbers have never mattered to me. And I've said it from the beginning, and I'll say it until the end. Anybody is welcome to come in that door. But everybody won't come, because it's about a we and not about a me. When you understand that there's a power of a team and there's no I's in team championships. I know football season is here. Mr. Mike, I want to see if Grambling playing your team again this year. Mr. Mike got season passes. Relationships make a difference, right? And so, you know, your favorite football team in season, right? You know, this team is about a we team. It's not about a me team. You know, as long as we all play a part of a team, that's what's important. And so I am going to cover our food. Miss Rebecca, are we ready, y'all? This is the star right there. This is who really, y'all, yeah. Let's give it up for Miss Rebecca. She came in probably about 3 years ago, and the circle of caring ain't been the same since. I'm so grateful for that woman right there. And so I'm going to cover our meal, and then restrooms, I guess these are closed right here. I know the ladies is, maybe not the men's, but you can wash your hands here, or the restrooms are right out this door and to your left. We have a chili bar today with salad. Please charge it to my head. I didn't even think about dessert. But it's the holiday, so just know we're going to be eating too much dessert for the holiday, so charge it to that, okay? But we have a chili bar today and salad, so please help yourselves, and I'll cover our time. God, thank you so much. When everybody is seated. But I'm going to put this QR code here so that as you get back to your seat before others, that you would just scan this and pass it down, please. This is our survey today. It is electronically. And so if you don't have the phone, so I know me, Ma, this is all the new age stuff. I don't like it either. But it's all the new age stuff. If you'll go ahead and do your surveys as you come back to the table. We're going to talk about the questions out loud as well. Yes.
They can also go to Community Renewal's website
Mm-hmm.
and click on, and it'll take them right to the form.
Oh yay! Thank y'all. That's compliments of Miss Rebecca and Liz. Liz is Miss Diane's daughter, and I tell you, Circle of Caring just hasn't been the same since they've added their hands and touch to it. Cause I'm so challenged there. I do okay up front, but if you put me by that computer, I'm not the best. So even the young folks is challenging for. But everybody don't move at the same time. Go ahead and get your, you know, like, Wade, I'm telling you, Wade was at 3 parties. I already knew he went to the most. I already knew he was out late. I already know these things about Wade. And in time, Wade, I'm telling y'all gotta hang out with Wade. Wade gonna keep you together. Ain't no room to be chilling. There's still too much work to do if you got breath in your body. So.
Don't forget to mention, he's at the office. He opens up our office and gets the coffee going every morning before I get there.
No, it's not submitting.
Sitting in his chair, looking at his
It's not submitting.
It's not submitting.
Reel after reel after reel. 88 years old, he's falling prey.
Absolutely. Okay, so Mr. Robert just told me that is anybody else having a problem submitting their survey?
Yeah, we won't let you finish that answer, the cachet part.
Okay.
Yeah, that part of it.
You said the cachet at the bottom is not correct, and I know how to add, I did the problem.
Okay. Please, I was just texting her, but please, Ms. Diane. And so that's cool. We'll go ahead. Liz is literally just about a genius. And so she'll work on that while we're on this end. The precious part, prayerfully, is that we can still have you submit it without you having to do it over. But what I would love to do is go around and do some introductions and talk about your name, the organization that you represent. We like to use this as our elevator pitches. So normally we do like 60 seconds, but if we can keep it to as 30 to 45 as possible, that way it doesn't take us 30 minutes to get through. Your name, the organization you represent, and what are you looking forward to the most for this holiday season? And we'll start with Ms. Diane.
Do I stand up?
No, ma'am, you don't have to.
Okay. Diane Lawrence, I write grants for community renewal, and I work with We Care Schools, which is why I decided I needed to start coming, because everybody needs to know about We Care Schools. I'm most looking forward to being with my grandkids.
I know it. That's the fun part. I finally got my first grandbaby.
Liz said she just got like 12 surveys.
Okay, so they submitted. They're submitting, but maybe not on your end. Thank you. Go ahead, Wade.
My name's Wade Shedwell. I work with Community Renewal, and I think I'm gonna look forward to this Christmas, if my health is able, go spend time with my grandkids in Melissa.
That's
I'll
gonna
be
be
willing.
That's gonna be fun, Wade.
My name is David McCarter. I also work with Community Renewal. And for the first half of the holidays, I think the thing I look forward to the most is my kids coming home. And for the second half of the holidays, the thing I look forward to the most is my kids going back.
Right. Absolutely.
Good morning, my name is Pam Kennedy. And I'm here for the same thing that you guys are representing the kingdom of God. And what I'm most looking forward to, what God is doing on a daily basis.
That's good, Ms. Pam.
I'm Sister Rika. I work with the literacy volunteers at St. Mary College. So we help adults get their high school equivalency diploma, learn English, or just improve their reading and writing skills, basic literacy. And my husband and I are going out to Las Vegas for New Year's. So
So fun.
My name is Debbie Washington. I'm with Northwest Louisiana Technical Community College. I represent 3 different campuses. We have a campus in Shreveport, Minden, as well as Huntsville. I'm a college counselor, and what I'm looking forward to is hanging out with my family for the holidays.
Yes.
Good morning, I'm Rourke Carter. We're in the Shreveport Rehabilitation Hospital. We're inpatient rehab facility we just built in 2023. The thing I'm looking forward to most for the holidays would be family, kind of following that. You know, I've got a small family. We're spending all the 1 week. This year, everybody's going to be here in Shreveport. My grandparents, my brother, so it'll be kind of nice.
Oh, fun. Now, is Granny cooking or are you gonna cook?
Oh, I'm gonna be cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, but according to her recipes.
Right, of course. Uh-huh.
You know.
Fun.
Mike Leonard with Community Renewal as well, and Community Renewal is renewing the foundations of community by intentionally building and growing positive caring relationships, which is why this has been such an important aspect of our work. There's a lot of great organizations and nonprofits in Shreveport and Bossier we talk about all the time. I had no idea who they are or what they were doing, but they're fantastic people and doing a great job for our community. So as far as Christmas goes, it'll be grandchildren, one way or another, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Mr. Mike comes in always after the grandbabies, and you know when he's been with them, because his nails is normally polished. The best pawpaw ever to have the babies polish his
We do
nails.
them one at a time, that's all I can take. And every time I get one of those fingers painted, my father does another 360 in the ground.
Mr. Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm Jeff Nord. I'm with Office of Workforce Development, Veteran Services. Basically, I just help disabled veterans find employment you know, disadvantaged veterans find employment here in North Louisiana. And, what I'm looking forward to for Christmas is I'm probably gonna be the one doing the traveling. It don't seem like anybody else in my family, owns a car, because they don't travel anywhere. If I don't go, it don't get done.
Sounds like my family.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Deborah Speed. I am currently retired, but also I am doing, 2 different behavioral health, contracts. So I'm working with the Metropolitan Circles, doing their, psychosocial rehabilitation services for both adults and youth. So, and also I'm working in the Minden area, working with the LIFE program, and it's called Project Reclaim. So I'm working with their adolescents, also doing some life skill, training courses.
Absolutely.
And, I have another little hat. I'm a traveler.
Well, take that little off.
Since you're doing some traveling.
Yeah.
I ain't going by car, I got you.
Yes.
That's why you have one. But I'm just happy to be here, and, what I look forward to most, for the holidays is just connecting and reconnecting with family, friends, college, mates, and just keeping the circle carrying, in my profile, and inviting others to come and be a part.
Absolutely.
Hi, you guys. I'm Andrea Mona Bowman. I'm a hair designer in TV and film. I'm also the owner of Mona B Productions. Under my production company, we create content, we produce content, and do trainings for below the line filmmakers in different departments. And I'm trying to start an infrastructure here once the TV and film trying to connect with the city, so we get more local people trained to be able to benefit from having different types of productions and stuff come in this area. So I started that, and I'm moved back from Atlanta and Houston, now I'm back home to start really putting foot down. I'm having a actual workshop where I'm bringing a panel in of different people that are in the industry that are doing really well to speak in, to talk to everyday people doing the film prize, to just try to let people see what we do.
Absolutely.
And to inspire people to start getting their kids or themselves, they wanna pivot to a new career or something, but it's just making training available in our area so people can benefit. And the event is October 16th from 3 to 5. 35, I'm partnering with LSUS, so if you wanna come by, and we're having a mixer afterwards, where you can talk to the panelists and all that on the 16th.
Make sure Mr. Heck gets that, we'll send it
I
out to
sure
the
will.
full list.
I sure will.
That'd be so good.
I'm the oldest daughter, I'm her mom and her aunt. And this is my friend, and that's my Nina over there.
Yeah.
I'm her Mima.
Yes.
Everybody's Mima.
Yes.
My pastor called me Mima. I'm older than my mom. But he's 75 and I'll be 77 this month. But I love children, and that is how I spend my time. I like my Sunday school class, and I like my Bible study class. And that's why I want to get involved in anything that brings children to do that.
She was 33 years in the school industry, so she's sleeping on it, she's very special.
Okay.
And how you wanna spend your holiday?
And I'm gonna spend my holiday with my family, and I hope this year I have enough strength to have a family Christmas party.
Yes, I'll be there.
If I got enough strength. I never cook now. And one thing, I'm not a cook now. I recruit the cooks, and I been hosting.
Me, my tell she done did her years.
Yes.
The hosting, yes.
Me, ma done did all her years with cooking, baby.
I'm Deborah Williams. I came to Shreveport about 3 years ago. My husband is a veteran in the Air Force, retired from AT&T. And he lost his battle about 9 months ago. And so now I have a new friend.
And welcome. Now you got multiple new friends.
Just taking this one day at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were married for 40 years.
Oh, wow.
So just
Absolutely.
figuring it out.
And from where?
He was from Texarkana, Texas. I am from Chicago. We were living in Texarkana when we came here, and I never went back to
Absolutely. Okay. I see your Midwest swag on you.
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan, so yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Now you have a room of friends
Yeah.
that you can get to know. Yes, ma'am. Welcome to Shreveport. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Crystal Woodford. I've been here a few times. You guys know me, some of you. After spending almost 5 months in South Africa, I came back home and I just purchased my first home. I just closed. So the National Night Out I had at my house. And I'm gonna spend my holiday enjoying my house, every square footage of it.
I know that's right, sister.
I'm in the entertainment industry as well. I'm one of the first people to break into the industry, doing hair, makeup, and costume for film. And I always want to see what's going on in Shreveport. You know, I lived in Atlanta for 9 years, and Shreveport is home. It'll always be home. So I always want to tap in with Nina's Circle of Care and see what's going on in the community and see where I can give my services.
We would love for y'all to do the community renewal tour coming up.
Yeah, I would love to, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
on Thursday, so just, give us a call.
Okay.
Give my card later if you don't have Nina's or somebody's that has the office number on it. We'd love to have you, and it shows you all the places in the community where we're doing our work. Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for that.
Yes.
And that's, Mr. Robert, please.
Oh, I'm Robert Odom, Program Assistant at Community Renewal. I've been working on sort of like a tape recorder type spiel all morning, so I hope I don't mess it up too bad. Community Renewal's been around for like 30 years, and I usually open up the meeting. I usually start the meeting with the 3 initiatives that Community Renewal has. The first one is Friendship House. There's 10 friendship houses in 11 neighborhoods in Shreveport Bossier, and it's a comprehensive program for youth and kids as an after-school program. The community coordinators, they live in the Friendship House, and a lot of times they go out and build relationships with different projects they have, and they also partner with other organizations such as Interfaith to spark conversations in the community for like problems and successes in the community. And the second initiative is We Care Neighbors. It's like a block leader initiative, and but it's more than that. It's like neighbors caring for each other, doing tasks for each other, and just building relationships and just looking out for each other. And the third initiative is We Care Partners. I don't know too much about that, but I do know that it's individuals, churches, businesses, and organizations coming together to make the city stronger. And also there's ARA, which is Adult Renewal Academy. There's several locations in Shreveport and Bossier that they partner with Southern University to get adults of all ages their GED or book learning if they missed when they were younger.
Thanks so much, Mr. Robert, for that. Jay?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is James Collins. I'm the owner of White Rat Creative Studio, photography, custom dreams. So what I'm looking for the holiday is spending time with family, traveling, and seeing all the beautiful licenses by the Lord.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing, Jay. So, this leads me right into our time, and I'm so grateful for you all that took time out to join us today. And then, Andrea and Crystal, they're so modest, but we realize that Shreveport, and I've always said that Shreveport has amazing things happening, but everybody are doing them on these individual silos. It's like tomorrow nothing is happening in the city, and that's not just tomorrow, like tomorrow, the next day, and the next 3 weeks. But then on the 4th week, everybody is doing the same thing on the same day, and nobody knew about it. And then the president is here, like nobody, like it's always been amazing to me just how that has went. So, with the work that is going on in Shreveport and the things that is to come now, Mr. Robert, don't put this in the minutes, but I love when Mr. Micah say that too. I've been looking forward to that time to say that, Mr. Robert, don't put this in the minutes. But this is so important, y'all, with what's going on here now. And when I say this, Mr. Robert, I'm talking about the underground bunkers. Okay. Now, like I was saying, Andrea and Crystal are very modest because they do hair in the industry of film, and I don't watch much TV, but it's the movies that they've actually done, okay? And so Crystal, and I always get it confused because I'm just proud to call them family, right? On what they have done, but Crystal, your films that you've done hair on is what?
Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, Coming to America, Captain America was released this year.
That's just to name a few, because they both work hand in hand on each other's sets. Mona, what are the films that you like? One of the things that I want to see, and the only reason why I want to see this because I don't even watch TV enough to watch previews. But Mona did Kevin Hart's series, which was Fight Night. So I'm watching their social media, and they are all over with, that's their crew. So what movies and stuff have you done?
Emancipation. I did Piano Lesson, Fences, Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3, The Color Purple. That's Fight Night.
Right. And I share that because, again, they're modest about it, right? And
she was starting you was in Just Mercy. I actually saw my daughter for a minute.
Right.
I sat and she was in Just Mercy. She was standing behind the lawyer. And I was like, that's my baby.
Right. Absolutely.
She was in the scene in Just Mercy. She was in church planning.
Right.
With her little head on.
Right.
Right. I'm the proud mama.
I can't tell.
Yes.
Wow.
Been nominated.
Got that pro.
Wow.
Oscar shortlisted, BAFTA longlisted, Emmy nominated, Guild nominated, and NAACP winner, and nominated 3 times. So.
Wow.
And I mean, that's enough to, that part.
I'm grateful to be here, and that's why I try to get back, and like Crystal said, we try to come back and get to the city, because I love my city, and there's so many talented people here, and so many things and aspects, especially to be inspirational to, especially those that are coming behind us. And some of the things that I've been exposed to, I'm just like, wow, I knew about this when I was younger, So wanting to try to get back and get partner with the city and try to bring more, not just TV and film, but all aspects. Just like the thing that you guys are doing, that I'm trying to do. I create mental awareness and different programs to where we can be able to get back and get these kids more active.
Absolutely.
It's very much needed when you don't have programs or things or people that really have a heart for people to put things in perspective so they can have access. So that's what I'm back on for. Didn't think I was coming back, but God sent me back, and I'm not mad because I love my city. But between here and Texas, I'm gonna be putting my feet down and try to get as much groundwork that we can do with good things and exposure to this area and bring certain people here so we can all work together, because the more we work together, the better off.
The better, absolutely. Now, question for you all that have been here forever, any amount of time with me in the Circle of Caring. What's the one thing I'm about to say about with everything that Andrea just said? Anybody? You can't gamble in the church or nothing, but I would have like $10 for somebody. I know, right, Roy? Judge your cousins, right? Judge your cousins. Okay, so one of the things, and I went on ahead and got in eventually and just started tallying my marks of how many times she just said try. Right? So one thing we don't do in this room is we don't say try. and we don't say little, because nothing about what y'all have ever done is little, and y'all ain't trying to do nothing. Y'all have done it, and y'all are doing it, and I'm grateful for that. And I showcase that not to impress anybody, but to impress upon you the work that we have we're able to do right here in this room, right? So I want to jump into the surveys because, and Liz said that she did receive some, but what I want to do is draw our attention to numbers 8 and 10 more than anything, okay? They wasn't really numbered on you all's sheet, but I want to draw our attentions to numbers 8 and 10. And so one of the questions that I thought about was how or what we could do. Hold on, let me pull it up here because this is in a big. I'm a computer girl, y'all. Like when I see this type of stuff, I'm a paper girl, but I be needing to see it. And I can't do most of that stuff on my phone neither. I have to do this type of stuff from a computer. So the question that I knew I wanted to really focus on in this survey was talking about what and where we see this going for 2026. Now, of course, I hope that you all obviously looked at like the frequency of the meetings, you know, because we talked about throwing some evening things in there. Because sometimes it works for people's schedules. Sometimes when people are done for the workday, they don't want to look at nothing else for the evening. So I understand that as well. But number 8 question was, what could we improve or do differently to make our gatherings more meaningful and effective? What can we do moving forward to make our conversations more meaningful and effective? So again, we've done this for like 3.5 years, and they have been really good meetings. But why have good meetings when you can have great ones, right? And so we can just kind of keep going like this, and this would be good. But I would rather not. I want us to go to this next level, whatever that level looks like, Rory, right? So I'm in school, and Miss Speed, like, you know, her being in her area of social work and like just that whole thing, like, y'all, I have done this for almost 20 years. But now I'm getting my paper in it. And the paper side of it, I mean, like, you want to diagnose everybody, don't you? You're like, oh, that's what's wrong with me. You know, like, I'm telling you, like, this stuff is, like, for real. But what has gotten me the most about my education journey thus far is the policy side of this stuff. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Like, let me just say, I hate, and you shouldn't hate anything, but I hate politics. I've hated politics, y'all. I ran for office. I ran for mayor in Marshall, and I almost won, and I did not want to win. Oh, I was about to be terrible. Like, I called almost in tears that I was about to win. I know, Mr. Mike, right? Why would I run? Well, I was new in the community, and I was starting my nonprofit there. I was fresh out of my divorce. I was starting my nonprofit, and I knew the best way to get out in the community is to be out in the political world. So I wasn't anticipating that I was about to almost win. And so it was not going to go right, y'all, if I would have won. Oh my goodness, Rory. Oh my goodness, like I was in tears telling my dad. And like, I didn't even know that I was supposed to be there for the running. I was in Shreveport. Like I took the kids out for a day. Like, and they was like, oh, you're not here? I was like, oh, was I supposed to? Like, I just, boom, right here over my head. So politics has just never been my passion, right? And I've never known enough to know, like, I don't care whose side. I don't care if you're a Republican, and I definitely don't care if you're a Democrat. I just want to know who's on the right side. Like, whichever policy is the right policy, right? Because if we're doing it right, that's supposed to be how this thing's supposed to go, you know? And so being on the policy side, I have just been amazed. Now, I've had people prophesy over me that I would touch the political world. I've had several prophecies on that side, but I just never thought, I thought like maybe, you know, I would probably be the first, you know, female president, but I knew I didn't want to do that. Hey, Simone, welcome, sister. And so I knew that I didn't want to do that side, but I didn't know that there was so much more to policy or to the political world than to, you know, in that arena. So I say that to say, what are some things that we can improve on? So when we think about that, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I mean, I can go straight to policy. It's a lot of us at these tables that are movers and shakers, that when you talk about businesses, you talk about churches, and you talk about organizations. All three of them play a very vital role. We talked about it from the beginning. Like, raise your hand if you think churches is important. Raise your hand if you think that business is. Raise both hands if you think that organizations is important. And that was so fun on a multiple opportunity for us to do that. And every time people raised their hand, each time was wrong. Each time was wrong. Because churches, business, and organizations are all vital to a community. None of them play no more of a part than the other. And I'm a saved, sanctified, sold out, July 13th, 1996 believer. But the church is no more important than the organization. And the organization is no more important than the business. Because when you put it all together, we are the church. God didn't die, my pastor used to say, God didn't die for stones, he died for bones. That's for free. He ain't died for no stones, he died for bones. So, you know, and it be the good Christians, y'all, they my favorite ones, the good Christian folks. So they say, you can't be cussing in church. Well, if you cuss anyway, you might as well cuss. Like, you know, I never understood that, you know. Or I can't smoke on the church grounds. Baby, okay, that's another soapbox. So, you know, but you talk about we are the church, right? And then you got organizations who have, Community Renewal has been around 30 years. 30 years in a community, growing and building positive and caring relationships. So with the work that Community Renewal has done in the community, they can't do it without the church. And the businesses, if you don't have people that's coming into your business to buy stuff, they coming in to steal some. And the only way that the characteristics and all that improves is through the church. And through programs, because some people ain't never gonna step foot in a church. So what organizations are in place to fill those gaps? So again, when I think about what is it that we can do next, I'm setting this up because I need to hear from y'all. What are we gonna do next? Thanks, Rory.
Thank you.
See you in a minute. In
Yes,
January. Yes,
Call
sir.
anytime.
Absolutely. And so what is it that we can do to take this to the next level? Like, are we going to where we dealing with policies? Because, I mean, like, I think about, man, y'all, I'm talking about I'm in this class, and for my community, I remember I was a teenage mom. And when I finally got the opportunity to get social services up in Michigan, you know, it was the late 90s. 'Cause Key was born 94, so 96, 97, 98. If you wanted to get food stamps or, you know, money for ADC and stuff like that, you know, they had to come and visit your house. And one girl in class talked about yesterday how, you know, you couldn't have no sight of no man around. So her mama told her, they come to visit Melissa. Her mama said, they come to visit the house, so you got to take all your stuff to your mama's house. That's what she told the boyfriend. I remember that as a little girl. Some of us may not, I remember that. But that was from policy. I thought to myself, policy. That's why I've been ignorant to it. Most of the stuff that we be ignorant to is because that's where our calling be. So policy. You know, we think about organizations. Like, you know, you're talking about re-entering to society. People that's coming out, re-entering into society. But the applications would say, have you been convicted of a felon?
Right, yeah.
And boom, you gotta check that off, because if you lie, then you can't get no job. But if you check it, you still can't get no job. But do y'all know that now on the law side of it, that policy is no longer in the state of Louisiana, that can be on an application? Policy. So, you know, I'm just talking about, thank you so much, sister. I'm just talking about the businesses, the churches, and the organizations. Like I'm just talking, that's one area. I'm gonna put that down for me. Obviously, I'm passionate about that policy, right? But what else? What else do we do? Are we want to look at topical next year? You know, you got, I know January, that's what I was talking to Rourke about, that's National Mentoring Month. Do you know how many kids need to be mentored today? So we can look at topical. You know, you got like this month is Breast Awareness Month. You know, for my ladies in the room, Christus is doing late examinations, you know, so that 5 o'clock hour. You know, if you can't get off at 5, they open on Saturdays and the evenings now. So getting those done, so topical things. Okay, I'm gonna pause there and hear from y'all. What y'all think? Where are we going next year? I don't care if we have 5 people at the table. I already know the people I want if I gotta only choose 5. Because these 5 folks, boy, we about to do some major moves right here. It's a song, what's that song, JJ? That's Lloyd, ain't it? It's some major moves out here, baby. Ain't that right. So what, go ahead, Mr. Mike.
Something that I think might be considered if indeed, you know, the policy side of this thing and the political aspect of that is taken on. Last Saturday, I was talking to an African-American volunteer gentleman that is on the board of the Force Center. With me, we were both born, we're about the same time, grew up in Shreveport, him as a black man, me as a white man. So we were talking about that and then commenting on how crazy it is in politics and how we've become so divided about just about everything. And he went out to his car and he got me a 1-page meditation on Proverbs and about taking the counsel of fools. And the opening paragraph was a quote from President Abraham Lincoln, in a situation where he had made a decision, basically a military decision, that one of his generals did not agree with, and the general actually called the president a fool at that time. And the person relayed that information to Abraham Lincoln, President Lincoln, and President Lincoln's comment to this person was, well, I've known my general for a long time, and he's rarely, if ever, been wrong about a situation. So if he called me a fool, I need to reconsider the decision I made. And I thought, could we have a little bit more of that attitude and not?
Of course.
Anyway,
That's so
if
good.
we're going to consider that, you know, there's no one group,
absolutely,
or one person that has all the answers. It has been and will one day return to the ability to compromise on what is the
right thing. Absolutely.
I just
That's so good.
mentioned that because that had an impact. We just don't see that kind of politics anymore.
That's so good. I love that because I was thinking, I said, Lord, I mean, did I say I hate politics? I don't, if we were to touch that at all, I thought about it, it's the we the people. It ain't no Democrats, it ain't no Republicans, it's not even no, I can care less about that. I want to know what policy the end result says, we the people. Because people is black, white, Asian, Hispanic. My daughter laughed so hard because I said, these kids know all that stuff. My baby girl who just turned 13, she was learning Spanish on her own. And I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to learn some Spanish, so, she'll try to play me with what she was talking about. And my oldest daughter's best friend, Ro, she said, who is such and such? And my daughter responds and says, my Jovio. And I said, oh, that must be boyfriend, right? And I said, oh, see, this is why I gotta learn. But, I say that because she was, I was talking to her about something, and I said, I said a thank you in this native language, but that person was this. And she just cracked up because she said, Mama, that is not a Chinese person. Like, whatever I said. But I say that like the kids know this stuff. They're much more in tune to this stuff than what we are, but people perish for the lack of knowledge. And so if we, we're not called the circle of caring for nothing. If we're gonna be caring, if we're gonna be in a circle, we might as well be doing something to actually care. Go ahead.
So, and this could be due to something I may not know, it may already be in place. One of the things I was thinking about, because we have a lot of people from different walks of life come to the agencies and need different resources and things like that. And going through Google or Yellow Pages, you really are limited to some of the resources that may be out there, but you just don't know. And nor do you have, I have a contact person in terms of where to send certain people because they need the help. My thoughts were, concerning this circle, is there a book of resource that is available for every agency member or company that gives a detailed, contact information of what you do, what you offer? You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because I've come out of pocket. This is just real story. I come out of pocket because I don't want to see anybody on the streets, because you can't stay so long at certain places, and everything is limited.
Absolutely.
And so, but I don't know where to send them.
Absolutely.
And then even after that, we still haven't fixed the problem. We just put a Band-Aid on it.
Put a Band-Aid on it, yeah.
So, now I'm taking, which I don't mind, but I take on time for myself, my household, my family, to try to get a person in place that I'm not equipped nor trained to do, but I got a heart to do it. Absolutely. Opposed to something that's already put in place, and I can just connect them. So one thing I would want, a book of resources for this circle.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So Goodwill, when I did Goodwill, and again, I'm so grateful, Mr. Mike, I was talking about this recently, because when I came onto the role as the Circle of Caring coordinator, I was working with Goodwill Industries as the Department of Corrections re-entry coordinator for Shreveport-Bossier. And when Mr. David and Mr. Mike asked about me doing Circle of Caring, I didn't want to let Goodwill go at the time. My season wasn't over yet. And I said, well, will y'all please allow me to do both? I mean, it ain't really heard of, but I understood the benefit of me sitting at Goodwill and me sitting with Community Renewal. And I'm so grateful. I haven't said it in a while, but I'm so grateful that they allowed me to. And Ms. Mike, he was real I'm going to see, because folks don't be wanting to work. Folks do not want to work. They want to collect money, and they don't want the work of it. But I was like, Mr. Mike, he said, you sure? I said, yes, sir, if you just allow me to. And they did, But I say that to say, I worked for the Department of Corrections, and so coming back into the community, they needed this. Right. Y'all, it was my first assignment that I had to do with Goodwill, and I literally was going to quit immediately, because it was so, the work that I had to put into this 80-page document was, and I don't do no paperwork. So I was like, this wasn't what I signed up for, but I understood the importance of it too. So that is called a Community Needs Assessment. It's a CNA, Community Needs Assessment. And so what Kayla has done, and I'll go back to the table, because Goodwill redid it, but Kayla made it now electronically. So I will get my hands on that and send it out in a database. Y'all, now mind you, cause y'all know y'all city. Y'all know Shreveport Bossier. They change resources by the second. And most of them, did I say most? Most of these programs, which I didn't realize, Melissa, they come in and build these programs only to get money.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I just didn't think about that. Like, you done only built this program to get this grant. And then as soon as the grant go, you done with the calling? This one really your heart? Like, that's amazing to me, right? So, but this CNA, so you might have to, now Caleb, the newer copy, she may have went through and pulled those resources, but it's valuable enough that if you gotta go through and cross them off yourself, it's extensive. So I will make sure I get my hands on that. It's called a CNA. And
we can also send out the circle of caring
database, yes.
It's got the people that have attended and what their
The services sure
That'd be
do.
great, yeah.
Miss Rebecca put that together because that has all 500. Yeah, that's a list for your butt, right? Now, don't put that in the minutes, Mr. Rapper. The other thing that I thought about as you said this, Simone, that's what we call a continuum of care, right? And initially when we came together for the Circle of Caring, like we do, and y'all, this is still so big on my heart, we gotta get a better grasp of a community calendar. Especially with 50 coming in here. And all this stuff okay, let me go back. Don't forget, don't put these in the notes, Mr. Robert, about these underground bunkers. These bunkers is what I wanna talk about real fast. That's what I meant to go back to. Now y'all heard that 50, of course, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson is coming in here to do what he gonna do. Curtis just invested $50 million, okay, for this. But did y'all hear much about Mark Zuckerberg? Okay, Mark Zuckerberg is Facebook. So Mark Zuckerberg is getting ready to invest, I think, how much? 50 billion? Okay. So Mark Zuckerberg, now Mark ain't coming to Shreveport Bossier, but he coming, as y'all say, up the road. But him and 50 is talking, okay? But this is what I want y'all to understand when I say about these meeting minutes, Mr. Robert. These underground bunkers. So I had somebody come to me, a gentleman that was, interested, and I was like, so I knew he wasn't from here. I said, what you doing here? He said he was a welder, and they had been here for about the last month, and their assignment was over in January. But they were here building, y'all ready for this one? Underground bunkers. I'm gonna let that settle for a second.
But you know this is Louisiana, right?
Wetlands.
Wetlands.
Water.
Okay, but you're not dealing with no Louisiana money, okay?
You know, the military base across the street.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
It's a lot more going on than
did what you know, right? So you're talking about these underground bunkers, and I said, underground bunkers? I'm ignorant to the fact, y'all. I ain't even lying, I'm ignorant, because I'm like, these really exist? So he said that they started building these underground bunkers. They're 2 to 3 bedroom bunkers, all Wi-Fi, all the way through.
Livable.
And he said that for the longest, they didn't even want him to know what they were building. So let me just say this for the record. I don't care if we put our money together to get us one underground bunker. Why are they building underground bunkers in our area and we don't know about this? Because this is not for the regular folk. Right, Jeffrey?
What's that?
No, I heard what you said. You said I know exactly why, right? So this ain't for no regular, I'm just saying, y'all, like, this was for free too, okay? That's a great question. But the fact that I don't even care what they're for. The fact that they are being built is amazing. And I can't just go and buy one. Like, that means, because so he said, and guess who's buying them? Facebook, Google, those that can afford it. And so I say that was for free. That don't really have much to do with it other than to do, because folks is going somewhere, so Circle of Caring is too. And so I say that, okay, I say that to say, going back to what Simone was saying with the continuum of care. Initially, we maybe get off on that because I was talking about 50 and them coming in here. We got to get a hold of this community calendar. Because if we don't, and it's okay if 5 people have something on the same day, it's enough people in the city.
Right.
But 100 people having something on the same day at the same time, that's absurd. So that's one thing I know for Circle of Caring, I would love to see us continue to work out for 26. Okay? The other thing is this continuum of care. In the beginning and early on, y'all, we talked about, okay, we're about to be done. In the beginning, we talked about having the opportunity, because if I just say go over there to Northwest Louisiana Technical College, that's just one thing. But if I say go over there and talk to Miss Debbie and tell her that Nina sent you over at Northwest, that has a whole different to it. And that has been our heart in Circle of Caring. We want to be able to send, because I know for a fact when I send somebody over there to Mr. Jeffrey, I know for a fact he gonna, just because of who sent him. That's why I ain't even gonna lie, I can't send everybody in my name. Because I know Mr. Jeffrey gonna take care of him or her, but I gotta make sure they don't get over on Mr. Jeffrey neither. So my students have to be like, Miss Nina, can I use, because you already know, don't put my name down. I'm gonna tell them the truth. I'm gonna tell them the truth. And then I want to make sure that who I send back over to Mr. Jeffrey, he like, man, Nina ain't just sending me no garbage. He gonna know that I'm sending him people that's serious, right? So that goes to our continuum of care. Do we focus next year on setting up a continuum of care to where we know, and we just take a motto? Thank God for ChatGPT. We can take a motto of a person and take a model of 4 people, a single mom who just got divorced and ain't never worked. Like we can put 4 models in there and have chat build us out. What does this continuum of care look like step by step? Because if you ain't never been through it, then you gonna miss something.
Yeah, that's good.
If you don't know that, okay, before you go down to the ADC place, you got to make sure, well, it's called ADC in my day. If you go down there, you got to make sure you got a social security card or ID. Because if you ain't got transportation and you go down there and you find out you need the things you ain't got, now it's taking you that much longer. But if we put together a continuum of care, I never understand this, y'all, and I promise y'all I'm done off of this. If you've been doing something for 20 years and you come to my desk and I know I don't like people and I know I don't want to talk to nobody, and you ask me, because I've been doing this for 20, I said 20, right? So the same question is going to be the same question. And I know I want to talk to you, I'm going to have a sheet for you every time. Here's your steps right here. And I'm right back at it. But people won't even answer, like, how did you miss that important step? But if you put a continuum of care in place. So that may be the route we go. I just need to know which route we're going. Last thoughts, comments, or questions?
I love that idea.
Continuum of care. Okay. Did I say it's the holidays, y'all? It's the holidays. Thank y'all so much for coming again. Our next meeting is in December. It is going to be at, I don't know exactly where, but you'll see that it's December 19th. For the Heroes of the Heart. If you have any heroes that the mission behind Heroes of the Heart is, you know how you have great people that do great things and they're always acknowledged. And then you have people that do great things 365 days a year and they don't even want to be acknowledged. Those are the people we want. You can apologize later. But we want somebody that has the spirit of Christmas all year long. They do what they do because it's in their hearts and not for no grants that they just wrote for this. So I know Dorian is going to be looking for some Heroes of the Heart. Send names or emails to Miss Rebecca. I'm going to say may. We may do something if we just meet here with one table. to look at what a continuum of care looks like, so that, Lord willing, January, we already running into that. So I would love if you see that coming out, please join us at the table for that. And any upcoming announcements, we have the tour coming up the third Thursday of this month. So please call the office and sign up for the tour if you haven't. It's a 90-minute tour.
October 16th.
October 16th, the same day.
There is such thing as a free lunch.
Yes. Lunch is included to that. Now, what time is
The
that?
16th is from 3 to 5, and the mixer is from 5 to 7.
Okay, and the tour is from 12 to 1:30, so you can still make both if you desire to, okay? Any upcoming announcements from your agencies, which I got coming up?
And I will make sure they get the flyers so y'all.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thanks, Simone, on that. I know Simone, didn't have a privilege of introducing herself, but I gotta shout out a Center for Hope and Change. They are a mental health agency in the community that is really going into the schools. Caddo, y'all, have set up, this is how serious this is. Caddo has set up offices, spaces in their schools for mental health agencies to come in, because these kids are struggling. So We Care Schools is imperative to get inside of these schools. That would be that should be a partnership that y'all should be linking for sure, okay? But Center for Hope and Change, you know, I just locked in my therapist, y'all. I can't be any more excited, because I've been to counselor all my life. I can't wait to see what's wrong with me, and these diagnoses is for real. So, you know, in this season, that's what they say. That's what the teachers say. Don't be diagnosing yourself now, you know. But Miss Rebecca?
Yes, we've had 3 people to actually do the surveys this morning, and thank you. And please don't forget to do them, because it's very important.
We
that
tried,
get
but
that
they're
feedback.
not letting us finish it out.
It's probably the building. I think it's the
Oh,
internet.
So they're letting you to fill the things
Yeah,
out, but
yeah.
when you go to the cachet part, where they want you
Mhm.
to make sure that you're not
A human, yeah.
A human is kicking it out.
Okay, and at the bottom, you also have to add, she has.
Yes, and I did the ad, and I put the number on it.
It makes it.
And Liz did say that she got like 12, so if you haven't, and I'll just say this, it won't hurt to do it again, because I'd rather you do it again when you leave out of here than to not and we miss it, okay? You'll see it in the emails coming out. If you have coworkers that have been here, please say, hey, did you get the survey? Do that for me, because I want to hear from everybody, okay? Thank y'all so much for coming. I appreciate y'all, and we are definitely going to look to do Circle of Caring 2.0 for 2026. So thank y'all so much for coming, and have an amazing day.